everybody the whole day. Man, dude punked Dante out, man. Dante got punked out in the chow hall line, in the breakfast line, man. He wasn't feeling that whatsoever. He didn't put his hands on Dante. He didn't swing at Dante. He didn't even attempt to. He was just running it. He wasn't even in Dante's. Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again. Real Ken's TV and the house like kitchen sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Now, with no further ado, let's get into this afternoon's video, if you will. You know, for you all that have been following me and, you know, keeping up with my channel over the last 11 months, you'll notice that everything that I tend to upload is relative, you know, it's positive. You know, I try to stay away from the negativity because it's, you know, it's enough room for everybody in this game, you know. But at the same time, man, this character Dante, the Dante Network show, you know, he's I don't know, man. It's like he just loves to keep my name in his mouth. And I don't understand. I don't understand because Dante and I, you know, we had a pretty decent relationship. So I thought. I've let him live. Now, when I say I've let him live, basically what I mean by that is he tells a whole lot of prison stories. A whole lot of prison stories. And I've been locked up with Dante before. I haven't done all of my time with Dante, but I have been locked up with him before. And a lot of the things that he says, I just didn't see. I'm not going to say that they're false. I'm not going to say that, you know, they're not true. But a lot of the things that he says, I didn't see. Like he tells one story about how it was a dude and he was a booty bandit in prison. And basically he was saying that, you know, he came up to him and he was like, hey, you know, if you need anything, you know, holler at me, you know, let me know, whatever. You know, my name's Jingling, Jingling, you know, one of them type stories. So, you know, basically they came and told him, said, hey, man, stay away from that dude, man. You see what I'm saying? Stay away from this dude because he's not, you know, he's known for trying to reel you in, you know, trying to, he'll give you a bunch of stuff. He'll loan you a bunch of stuff. Then when it's time to pay him back, he don't want that type of payback. So, you know, he was talking about that. And don't get me wrong, those type of things do happen in prison. They definitely do happen. So he was talking about he was sitting at the chow hall table one morning for breakfast, and the dude came and, you know, put 2 honey buns on the table and offered him the honey buns or whatever. And he was like, nah, man, I'm cool. So the dude was like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Us blacks, man, we got to look out for the other blacks. And, you know, a lot of times it is like that in prison. You know, you kind of stick to your race, you know, in prisons. So Dante goes on to tell him like, nah, man, I'm cool. So the dude, he's looking at Dante with lust in his eyes. You know, he's looking at Dante as I don't know, like he's staring a hole in him, through him rather. So Dante gets offended. This is the words of Dante. Dante's words. So he gets offended. The dude turns around. Dante smacks him in the back of the head with a tray. Commence to beating him or whatever. They get to fighting. The COs come over there. They beat Dante up. They throw him in the hole. So he does hold time. You know, however long he stayed in the hole. Then he gets back out. He gets back out. They put the same 2 dudes back on the same yard. No. If it's a fight of that magnitude to where somebody is assaulted with a weapon, those prison trays, man, are big and they thick. Pause. Double pause. So they could really cause some damage. So they let the 2 back out on the yard together again. Dante's walking with his crew. I think he said it's 5 of them. Well, you know, him and 4 other dudes. They walking the track, walking the loop. Like I said, in prison, that's very typical. You walk the loop, you know, drink your coffee or whatever. Just kick the willy bobo, you know. So they see dude. Dante say he runs up on him, asks him, does he have a problem? Dude's like, the booty bandit. It's like, nah, man, you know, do you got a problem? You want it to be a problem? So they get to fight and they jump the dude or whatever. beat him up. Then a couple of dudes' partners came in and they jumped in. So basically it was 3-on-5. It was an all-out brawl. It lasted for a while before the COs seen anything. They went back to the hole again. Dante has a knife at this point. He say he gonna stab dude. So he goes back to the hole, whatever. He gets back out of the hole, and the dude offers him a peace treaty. You know, some noodles and zoom zooms and wham whams, and he sends it over to Dante because Dante had in his mind that he was gonna go on and, you know, push that blade. He calls himself the blade pusher. So he had in his mind that he was gonna go on and push that blade or whatever. So the dude offers him the peace treaty, and he accepts it, and they remain on the same yard, and everybody lives happily ever after. Now, for you all that have been to prison before, you understand that it doesn't go down like that. But for you all that have never been to prison, that sounds like a heck of a story. By God, that sounds like a movie. That sounds like a script, a scene right out of a movie. Y'all seen Master P's Lockdown? If you haven't and you into penitentiary movies, that's a real penitentiary movie. It's called Lockdown, starring Master P. He made it like, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. So that scene sounds just like a scene from a movie like Lockdown. So I'm looking at his story. Now, this is just an example of some of the stories that he tells. Again, I'm not trying to call Dante a liar. I'm not trying to say that Dante didn't do those things. They just seem a little, I don't know, they just seem a little much. You know, like he's doing the most. You know, Urban Dictionary, for y'all that don't know what doing the most means, he's doing a little much. Respectfully. Now, I'm going to tell you about the time that I was actually locked up with Dante. I'll tell you a real personal experience that I had with Dante. We were never enemies, but we were like very, very competitive together. See, competitive against each other, rather. A lot of guys that come from Michigan end up in the prison system down here in Kentucky. And it's probably vice versa. So, I never met Dante. Obviously, I didn't know Dante or whatever. And apparently him and a couple of his partners or whatever, they caught a case down here. And we would go at it. Dante and I, for some reason, we would just, it's not like we didn't like each other, because we did, but we were just competitive. Like, we played ping pong. I'm trying hard. He's trying hard. Neither one of us wants to lose to the other person. We playing basketball. It's very competitive. It got real, real heated, but it always stayed there. It never went to the next level. You know, we were just sports teams, just whatever. If he liked A, I like B. You see what I'm saying? So we would just go back and forth or whatever. And Dante liked to play poker. You know, Dante would stay on that poker table. So one particular night, he's running a poker game. Now, understand this, and this happens on the streets as well. In prison, a poker game may start off Friday afternoon around lunchtime, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it may not end until 3 o'clock in the morning. That's how long the poker games go, you know, in prison, because, you know, you have to get up and go get counted and stuff like that, but then you come back to the poker table. Dante's running the poker game. Running the poker game basically means he's housing the poker game. He's responsible for all the commissary. So, you know, he has runners. So, say for instance, I want to come into the poker game and I got $5. That's what I want to start with. I give it to his runner. The runner puts it up in the kitty. That's what we call it, the kitty, the sack or whatever. Puts it in a secure location where it's going to be safe. And that's where the essentially money is kept at. It's commissary, but in prison, zoom zooms, wham whams, noodles, honey buns, all that equates to money. That's money in prison. So Dante's running the game. He has some pretty nice games, you know. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was competitive against me on the poker table as well. It seemed like he would always try to, you know, call me all in or whatever. You know, bluff me off the table. And sometimes he would be bluffing, sometimes he wouldn't. But his money was kind of long, so, you know. But nevertheless, he's running a poker game, nice little poker game. Now, it gets to a point to where if you play for a while, they'll allow you to go up top. Going up top means instead of running back to your locker every time you go out of the game and you want to, get more chips or what have you, or get back into the game, you just go up top. Meaning, okay, give me $10 more. I got it in my locker. Well, this guy, he was known to have money or whatever, so I guess Dante didn't think anything of it. So the guy continued to go up top, Keep in mind, in prison, poker is illegal. You can't just be playing poker. You play poker on paper. You don't even use chips. You keep score on paper. Now, I know some of y'all that play poker is like, how do you do that? But it's pretty easy. But you just have to be very, intelligent to keep the score. Know what you're doing. So Dante's a, pretty intelligent guy. I give him that. So he allows the guy to go up top maybe $60. That's a lot in prison. That's a lot. But again, poker's illegal, so you don't want to draw attention to the table to where, the COs, most of the COs, they know you're doing it anyway, but when you got cameras in certain spots and you don't want to be spotted on camera, that's a straight write-up, and then it just causes more trouble than what it's worth. So sometimes, if somebody's already proven, been playing a lot, or what have you, you're allowed to go up top. So at the end of the game, dude ends up owing like $60, maybe $70. Everybody's going to, bring their goods, if you will, to Dante or to his runners or whatever, so we can settle up. Give everybody who won, give them what they won or whatever, and Dante be in the house. He keeps the rest. Well, he notices that the dude that owed $60, $70, he wasn't coming out of his dorm. So he's like, hey, Kens, man, tell dude, we waiting on him out here. I don't like getting involved in other people's business, but we was in the same dorm, and I was like, yo, bro, they waiting on you outside, man. He don't go outside. I go on to my locker, mind my business or whatever, because I owed in the poker game too. So I put everything in the bag. I probably owed like $13, $15, something like that. I put all my stuff in the bag, and then when I put it in the bag, I set it by my like we was in cubicles. So I sit it kind of like by the walkway or whatever. So you walk into the cubicle, when dude comes in, I can just give him the bag. They call dude outside. Bruh. They knock on the door. Come on outside, man. He goes outside. I happen to be outside because I was going to use the telephone. So they going back and forth or whatever. I'm not melling, but I can't help but hear it. I hear him, talking or whatever. And, Dante's like, hey, man, what's up with that bread? Dude's like, man, I ain't got it. Dante's like, I mean, what you mean you ain't got it? You know what I'm saying? We've been gambling all night. What you mean? You go to commissary every week. Dude's like, bro, I ain't got it, man. So Dante's like, okay, so do you legitimately not have it, or you feel like, you trucking me? You trying to get over on me? Dude was like, man, I got some of it. I got a little something, but I don't got no $60, $70. So Dante's like, well, what you got? We can work something out. Dude's like, man, I probably got about like $10 or whatever. They continue to go back and forth. They not yelling, everything is everything. Dude goes back in the cell. When he goes back in the dorm, it wasn't a cell. When he goes back in the dorm, he lays down, puts his headphones on, and continues to watch TV. As if to say, man, I ain't giving Dante nothing. Probably about 10 minutes goes past. Next thing I know, I see 3 of them come through the door. You got Dante. He got 2 dudes with him. The 2 dudes with him are, man, one was from Cincinnati, the other one was from Detroit. I'd say they was both about 6'3". One was maybe about 240, the other one maybe 220. Pretty nice sized dudes or whatever. They roll in with Dante. Dante's like, yo, what's up, man? I mean, you didn't even bring me the 10, you didn't even bring me the 10 out, the $10 or whatever that you said you had or whatever. So dude, he's standing tall. He's like, look, man, I told you I ain't got it. Next thing I know, Dante socks him. Hey, I'll give him that. Dante socks him. But hey, you got 2 goons with you, though. You see what I'm saying? You got 2 goons with you. So Dante's fighting the dude. The other one jumps in. The other dude goes into the locker. Dude got all type of stuff in his locker, man. He definitely got $60 worth of food in his locker. See, the thing is, in the poker games, a lot of times in prison, people want to lose. They don't want to lose, period. But if they do lose, it's like the noodles, stuff that they don't care about. They're not trying to lose the summer sausages, the pizzas, the burgers. So they going in dude's cooler. They going in his locker, whatever. Grabbed all this stuff, threw it in the bag. They wrestling with dude. Finally, dude and just chilled out or whatever because he realized he can't beat both of them. They roll up out of the cell. Now, that's one instance that I seen, and nothing ever came of that. They actually ended up squashing it because the dude knew that he was wrong. He was dead wrong, man. He was dead wrong. He was playing, and he had the money, but he wasn't trying to pay. Now, even if he didn't have the money, he was still going to probably get dealt with for the simple fact that you playing, but you don't even have the money to cover. But if you had a won, guess what? You would have got your money. So that's one instance where I seen Dante actually put in a little work. But like I said, he had two goons with him. They ended up squashing it, which was a good thing. Nobody got, because they didn't even beat him down. They roughed him up a little bit, excuse me, but they didn't beat him down. They didn't really cause no major damage. Dude was wrong anyway. They got paid. Everything ended up being cool. So that's one situation that I seen. That's one of the situations that I seen with Dante. So I can vouch for him. He'll use his hands like he know how to fight. You can tell he knows how to fight, but it's like, what would you have done if you didn't have him two with you? Really makes me wonder. I ponder on that, especially as I listen to these stories, these penitentiary stories that he tells. Another situation I seen with Dante early in the morning. And I've told this story on my channel, but out of respect for Dante, I never said his name. Because I don't really like saying people's name or whatever, so sometimes I'll just make up a name. So I think I referred to him as Black in this video that I made. It's early in the morning. Prison, man, they serve breakfast early. They serve breakfast early. You might eat at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So when you get up, you're not really in the best of moods in the morning. Unless you're a morning person. So I look up and I'm in the line, and it's crazy because I typically don't go to breakfast. But I think they were having like sausage and eggs, something like that I, kind of like or whatever. So I decided to go to breakfast this morning. That morning, rather. So I'm standing in the line or whatever, and I'm in the back of the line. Dante's kind of like towards the middle of the line. And I see him and a dude, they kind of going at it a little bit. So I'm looking or whatever. Trying not to pay too much attention. Like I said, number one rule, I've said this before in my prior videos. In prison, mind your own business. Even when a couple people get into it or whatever, you don't want to just be staring there because the cameras are looking. There's blind spots. There's not cameras everywhere, but there's a lot of cameras. So if you have a CO that's on and they're looking and they're watching those cameras, because, a lot of those COs, they think they super cops and detectives and investigators. So they watching the cameras to see the reaction of the inmates. So I'm kind of looking, but I'm not gawking or whatever. And dude's going in on Dante. He's calling him all type of B's and talking crazy to him and pointing at him. And dude got his shoes on. For whatever reason, Dante just had his shower shoes on. For whatever reason, Dante had his shower shoes on. So dude's talking or whatever. Dante's not, Dante's like, all right, bro, you win. You know what I'm saying? You win, bro. I ain't even, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no problems or whatever. Now, back then they wasn't saying, I don't want no smoke. But basically that's what he was saying. I don't want no problems, man. All right, you win. Everybody, the whole day. Man, dude punked Dante out, man. Dante got punked out in the chow hall line, in the breakfast line, man. Obviously, that didn't bode well with Dante. He wasn't feeling that whatsoever. As to be expected. Who wants to get punked out in front of everybody? I wouldn't call it a situation where he got punked out. It was just one of them situations to where he didn't have his shoes on. Dude was just talking. He didn't put his hands on Dante. He didn't swing at Dante. He didn't even attempt to. He was just running it. He wasn't even in Dante's, immediate range. He was just running it. It didn't bode well with Dante, evidently. Next morning for breakfast, Dante didn't say a word. I didn't hear anything. I'm in the breakfast line again. I think they was having like pancakes. Like I said, I rarely ate. Prison food is nasty, but this particular facility we was at, the food was decent. So they was having like pancakes or something. So I got up. Now, before I go there, this is very, very important. The dude, when I said that he never touched Dante, that he never, swung on him or anything, he got in his fighting stance and he was telling Dante, square up. You don't like it, square up. We can get it right now. Square up. That's what it means when you're going to get down. Square up. I had to throw that in. Remember, the dude kept telling Dante to square up. Dante, man, look, man, I don't want no problems, man. Next morning, as I mentioned, same scenario. Dude's in the breakfast line. Dante's in the back. Dude's kind of up close to the front. Dante had already went through the line. Initially, he had went through the line, got his tray or whatever, came back, gave his food to somebody else. He took that at breakfast tray, at prison tray. Now, for you all that never been to prison, those trays are they at least 3 inches thick. At least. Big trays. I'm talking about hard trays. Pause. Dante grabbed his tray, very calmly, act as though he was going to the trash can to, scrape his tray out. Grabs that tray. Boom! His dude in the back of the head. I'm talking about he splits him. I'm talking about he splits dude. Hit him in the back of the head. So when you get hit in the back of the head, you don't know what's going on. Dude never even knew. Dante had his shoes on that morning. So he hits dude in the back of the head. Boom. Dude's like, you know how it is, your reaction when you get hit in the back of the head and you trying to figure out and turn around and see what's going on, but you trying to throw your arms up and block or whatever. Dante hits him again. Boom! He hits the dude probably about 4 or 5 times with the tray. So dude is kind of like out of it. He's woozy. His legs are gone or whatever. He falls on the ground. When he falls on the ground, Dante commences to hit him with the tray. Boom! Boom! So the dude's trying to crawl up under the table to, get away from Dante. Dude's under the table, but half his body is still hanging out. It was kind of funny, man, to be honest. So now, the COs don't even see what's going on. Believe it or not, at this point, the COs don't even see what's going on. But it gets loud because Dante's like, nah, square up. Square up. Boom. Every time he swung that tray or every time he hit him, he just yelled, square up. Square up. Boom. I'm talking about, man, he's hitting dude wherever he can hit him at. His head's, like I said, kind of covered, so he's not really getting hit in the head, but like he's getting hit in the elbows, the knees, the legs, wherever Dante can hit him at, he's hitting him. And all he kept doing was telling the dude, square up, every time, and he was just so loud with it. Boom! So finally, they come running there like the goon squad or whatever. They come rushing in there. Signal 7 and unit, Signal 7, that's how they do, Signal 7 or whatever. So they run in. Signal 7 means a fight. So it means whatever you're doing, drop what you're doing and immediately head to, the unit or whatever, the chow hall. Dante's hitting the dude or whatever. The first officer that gets there, the cooler officer or whatever, he's telling Dante to drop the tray, man. They got their mace. Now, actually, it's bear spray. In prison, they walk around with fire extinguishers on their hip, man. Literally fire, like the size of fire extinguishers. You know what I mean? They spray you with that. Oh, man, it's not a good thing. So they telling Dante, hey, drop the tray, man. Dante's like, hey, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You spray me with that, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat your A. Try not to cuss on YouTube. So the dude's like, look, man, I told you drop the tray. Then more and more come. So now it's like, I don't know, it's maybe 3 or 4 of them. But they was afraid of Dante for whatever reason. Not to, say that they shouldn't have been, but he just had a tray. Y'all got bird spray. Y'all got all type of stuff. So they end up spraying Dante or whatever. They spray him because he won't drop the tray. He hits one of the officers, though. Boom! Even though he just got sprayed, he still hits one of the officers, but he don't really connect too well because he can't really see. They get him, throw him in cuffs or whatever, take him to the hole. Probably beat him up in the hole, to be honest, depending on who the officers were. And he got shipped to another facility. See, when an incident like that happens, there is no, oh, we're going to let you back out on the yard. No. You just split dude's wig with this trade like 20 times. You think we just going to let both people back out on the yard? See, these are the things that I speak of, like, and when I listen to his stories, it's like, come on, Dante, man. You know, some of the things you saying is just, I just think that, I don't know. I don't really want to say, but he has some, you know, some hellified stories. But those were two incidents that I seen Dante. Like I said, he got sent away because what happens is you go to the hole, you go to court call, if they even give you a court call. Most of the time, you're not even going to get a court call. Court call is just basically, they call you in on this date, you were seen doing this, how do you plead guilty, innocent, whatever, or not guilty. The committee recommends 90 days, good time loss, but it is restorable, and 15 days in the hole, 30 days in the hole. Sometimes they'll press outside charges. He was very, very lucky that the dude didn't press outside charges on him. Being in a Commonwealth state, the dude really wouldn't have to. The Commonwealth would pick it up. But nevertheless, they didn't press outside charges on him. And he goes to the hole for however long, and then he gets sent to a higher level facility. So I never seen Dante again in the prison system. Seen him out here on the streets. Like I said, he frequents Kentucky sometimes. I've been in contact with him. We talked, but when it came to my attention that he was, you know, kind of talking trash about me, I'm like, I mean, what is this about? I thought we was cool. I ain't never said anything bad about you. I never mentioned your name. I never said anything about the Dante Network show. Never. I've never said anything. I'm just a little YouTuber, man, trying to, you know, make my way through the ranks, man, the right way. So those are the two encounters. But all this, he was pushing a blade in prison, and they was extorting people, and he had a clique, and maybe in another prison. It could have been. I never seen that. Yeah, he had a clique. Don't get me wrong. He ain't no punk or nothing like that. But I ain't never see a lot of that stuff that he talks about. I didn't see it. You know, but it's strength in numbers. So I guess you probably could extort somebody and take people's commissary bags, or, you know, you tell a person, look, man, we gonna keep them up off you, but we need $50 a week or however much. Yeah, you probably could do that. That does go down in prison, especially if you have numbers. But I didn't see Dante moving like that. Dante was just one of them dudes. He loved to play poker. He liked sports. He gonna mind his business for the most part. He didn't really fool with a whole lot of people. He gonna hold his own. You know, he gonna stand up for himself. If he has a problem, he don't really go around starting stuff or whatever. But I seen a mild-mannered dude in there that was just trying to do his time. So all of this, I was extorting people, and we was running in the cell, the mask on or without the mask, you know what it is, get it out. Man, I ain't never see it. I never seen it. I'm not that type of individual myself. I in jail, just out here on the street, I mind my business, man. I don't bother nobody. I don't, you know, you come to me, you bring it to me, then I got to, you know, I'm a man first, so I got to handle my own. I got to handle my business. But I wasn't in there carrying, I ain't never had no blades or proclaimed to have no blades, none of that stuff. I got over 11 years in. Calendars. So like I said, man, Dante, man, I think that he gets caught up sometimes in other people's stories or things that he's seen from other people. Because I ain't never see you do it, Dante. And I'm going to just keep it real with you. And I'm not going to do no talking to this person and talking to that person. I'm telling you directly. There's no reason to have Real Ken's TV's name in your mouth unless it's something positive. Because I ain't never said nothing bad about you. Even in this video, I ain't really said anything bad about you. I just got to keep it real. How am I going to be called Real Ken's TV if I can't keep it real, man? Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment, definitely share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. When I said this action and this heat, let's rewind. Anytime I bring you this action and this heat, you're amongst the first to receive. Now, the reason I got a kick out of that, because I'm not going to lie, when Dante hit that dude, that's how it sounded. Hey, I bet that dude had nightmares, man, waking up in the middle of the night, square up, square up. Man, Dante beat the brakes off that dude with that prison tray, man. He did. He definitely did, man. But all that, like I said, running into cells and all that stuff and extorting people, man, I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. Y'all make sure Dante gets his video. Holla at me, big boy. I've been looking for you. You can change your number on me. Get at me. Real Kens TV.